Welcome. We're going to teach another video today on how to aim and spray control, all that fun stuff in Valorant. We're going to learn how to learn any spray control. I have lots of experience from Counter-Strike. I have around 3,000 to 4,000 hours. And I basically applied this method to learn any spray control I wanted to on any gun in Counter-Strike. So the same method pretty much applies in Valorant as well. There is some RNG, but for the most part you'll be able to spray like a pro. So for the spray control, it doesn't really matter if you start from the center or from the bottom. Depends how crazy the spray control is. The Vandal, I guess, is one of the harder guns to take spray control. It's kind of synonymous to the AK in Counter-Strike, but it does have a different spray than Counter-Strike, of course. So I just start from this circle right here, this outer circle, the third one, and just hold mouse 1. Just see what happens. Right here, you're basically just analyzing to see what is happening to the bullets. So as you can tell, it goes up a bit to the right, actually, before it heads left, and then back to the right. And that's the full spray. But notice how when you do that spray, it goes up a lot, right? And only to the right a very little bit. Only a very little bit. But after that little bit to the right, watch it just tank to the left like crazy. It went up. This one was actually a little bit different, right? So before I had a bullet up here, but it goes up to the right a little bit, then to the left. And see how many bullets are landing in the left area? So this is, by this, even if you knock down this part of the spray control, up to the right and to the left, you should be able to secure many kills. You like don't ever, I do say you can like learn. It's always great to learn after that, but it's really not necessary. Most of the time it is more beneficial to just reset your aim. Of course, there are times if they're all lined up, and I guess if you have the extra 5 bullets, right? But after that, you would just pull right. So yeah, the best way I would suggest learning this, you start from the bottom, pull down to counter, and see how when it went a little bit to the right, you're gonna pull a little bit to the left. So for example, just gonna pull down, and so that's just the downwards motion. Here it already started going to the right. I didn't counter as much by going to the left, but I'm gonna do that next. So I go down to the left, right? And it's relatively in the center. So we're gonna try again from 20 meters. Just gonna drag down to the right, to the left. Couple stray bullets over here, but for the most part, relatively center, which is okay. You want it at that headshot level. You're not gonna be killing anyone up here, unless of course it's high ground or some shit. Again, you can apply this to any other gun. Like, take for example, you take the Phantom as well. You just again start from here, goes up to the right, to the left, to the right. I'm actually kind of surprised about how similar it is to the Vandal in a way. I think it's just got faster fire rate, 5 more bullets, right? So but same thing, down to the left, to the right, and to the left. It's actually a lot more how do I say, enjoyable to spray with this gun. Down to the left, to the right, to the left. And I don't use the Phantom I like normally, but I don't know why, but that thing's a lot easier to handle. And you can do the areas as well. For example, start from close distance. I don't even know. I was trying to do recoil there, but for example, start from the bottom circle here. So it kind of goes zigzag. So it goes up, right, zigzag left, zigzag right. So instead you want to go down like this, down like this, down like this. So for 20 meters I go clear, down to the left, to the right, to the left. So I'm kind of countering the bullet. I'm kind of going zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Yeah. So I hope that helped for the spray control. And now we're just gonna move on to like peeking and shit like that. So for peeking on any gun, there's like, I can think of like about 4 creative ways. No, I don't want to say creative ways, but 4 different ways you can kind of peek an angle. Especially like say they're holding the angle, right, with a knob. You don't have any utility. Pretend you have like no smokes, flashes, any mobility abilities basically available, or an ulti, or any of that does. You just want to dry peek. Okay, there's basically 4 ways you can do it. First one, of course, is literally just peeking and hitting the guy. But You just have to be precise with your aim. You can do it, but you have to be precise, right? But there is a much better way to peek, especially like an opper. So what you want to do here is you can kind of peek the corner by giving it a little jiggle peek. I do this all the time in Counter-Strike. It works in this game too. Give it a little jiggle, know who the guy is, and then shoot on the second jiggle. Of course, it's not best to just have your entire body showing, but you do want to kind of shoulder, and then let go with your bullets, right? So shoulder, and let go. You can do a little bit longer for a jiggle. Sorry, what I mean by this is like little shoulder and come out, right? Of course, they could have moved within the longer time you jiggle, so that's why it is nice to get a little jiggle. Sometimes they shoot, right? Especially if they have an op, they have to cock it back, right? So if you hear the shot, you're taking that peek right away. If they have something like an AK, unless they're still holding down the recoil and they know the recoil, then you're gonna walk into their bullets, right? So sometimes if they have like an AK, you might want to delay it a little bit more, come back out, and then take them for the kill. It's a good idea. I keep looking over here because this is where I have my chat, but you guys are up here. What's going on? Okay, so the third method I know is to wide swing. This can catch people off guard because it is a lot more vulnerable. Like, the only problem with this is you have like multiple people holding a sight. You might be exposed to more than one angle and get shot from two different places, right? But for example, like you just have like a solo opper, you have the information, or you know that they're somewhere on the site, or they're holding this angle, and sometimes they could be double scoped or even single scoped, but it makes you harder to hit because you're more mobile, right? So you want to always be mobile, or take cover, or just jiggle, just be as elusive as possible, and then hit your shots within those little bursts where you're standing still, right? So you want to like move, stand still, and you can kind of counter it, right? You can see my keyboard, how I'm using it to this counter. It just takes practice, is all. So yeah, in this instance, like I can go for a wide swing, come down. Like that's considered a wide swing because I can peek right here if I wanted to, right? But if I want a wide swing, I can go right and go for the spray or whatever. Even 20 meters, right? He's holding the angle. And the beauty about this game too is you have a like ADS, which you don't normally have in like Counter-Strike. So even if you're not used to just aiming like not down your iron sights or not ADSing, you can always just use this for the extra I don't know, peace of mind or helpfulness. If it helps you, aim like this. Okay, so that's my third way of peeking an angle. The fourth way is a little more difficult. If you learn bunny hopping, you can kind of get used to it. I heard something, I'm not sure if it's true, let me know in the comments, but that you can hold W while bunny hopping in this game. I'm just used to bunny hopping like you do in CS, which requires you to only use A and D while moving your mouse in that direction. So the way I bunny hop, I kind of go, like I start off with the W to gain some momentum, and then as I hit D, I move over to the right. And then when I go to A and I jump, so yeah, I'll show you. And you might have seen my my scroll wheel moving. That's because I have my scroll wheel also bound to jump as well as spacebar. So if I do either or, it works really nicely. So yeah, I can do this. So yeah, of course, if you have an archway like this in the game, so this is my fourth way of peek, you can kind of just bunny hop over. So this again makes you more mobile, more elusive, and then you can jiggle peek off the second area, or if you're just trying to cross and peek from another angle behind this arch, like say if there was another opening, to peek from over here on this guy from the side, or just having them questioning, right? So for example, say if you're coming in to the site, there's an opening, they know they could hold this angle and they'll see you, but if you're over here now, you could peek from here or the other opening over there to kill them. The point is to peek. Nice little quick bunny hop, back over, swing, and shoot. Right, so very elusive, very mobile. I love this playstyle if you can get it down. Of course, it's a matter of making it all one smooth motion, and it all comes with practice. So again, practicing just jiggle peeking here, or I guess jiggle peeking this angle to the right, which there is a difference from peeking to the left to the right here. It's a different angle altogether. Combined with the bunny hop, right? And then coming together. You just mush those two together, break them up. So practice the jiggle peek, practice the bunny hop, put them together, and you get a nice flashy peek. So yeah, those are my ways of peeking. an op or someone who's holding an angle in Valorant. And this is basically just experience I've had from CS. I've applied to this game. I found it quite successful. If you apply it to your games, you'll be successful too. This comes with practice. I guess there's one more thing I can touch on is how to flick. So you have to be really comfortable with your DPI. If you're like playing around with your DPI a shit ton, you're just making it harder for yourself. Like honestly, just pick a DPI that's makes sense to you. Like you might hear players like they use low DPI so they can get down the spray, and they like the feeling of moving down. But again, like for me especially, like I have kind of higher DPI. I don't have the biggest mouse pad in the world, so I'm okay with just moving down a little bit. Like it's just a tiny movement. The thing I like to do is say I want to flick from here to here. So all I'm gonna be doing is putting my mouse here. This is like the reset point, and I'm gonna try to flick onto his head. Right? Of course, I'm a little more familiar with my DPI, so even sometimes I'll miss, but sometimes I'm just gonna try to hit him as many times in a row as I can. So you're gonna try to reset here every time. Reset, reset, reset. Okay? Making the distance closer makes you like kind of flick harder, but at the same time the head's bigger. So, and then of course apply all this. The next step to taking all of these skills forward would be to try it on moving characters. So you just click this practice here, hit F3, and you can turn on strafe. Right? You can make the speed easy, medium, hard. I don't know if this actually changes the strafe movement of the bots. Let me know in the comments. But again, now you just want to practice hitting as many people as possible. So just tap. Right? Try to focus on just one target and tracking them. Sometimes it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough, but this gets you good awareness and the best scenario for what it'll be like in game. Sometimes people are jumping around and all that jazz, but you can do that as well. You can practice your spraying, right? So you can just right. So those are my tips and tricks of how to practice your aim and get it better. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope it helped a lot. Stay tuned for more Valorant content and all that jazz. Make sure to follow me on Twitch. I do stream every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, except for the Fridays. So today's a Friday. Today's my upload day on YouTube, but I don't stream today. But yeah, I hope to see you guys live over tomorrow then, and further on in the future. Peace out.